Suicide Squad casting is done, according to Gunn. Will Aquaman battle the Jedi, and the Swamp Thing wraps production on season 1? Today on DC Movie News.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
Yeah.
In the great hall of the Justice League,
Close enough, baby. Close
the
enough.
world's four greatest heroes.
Yeah!
Created from the cosmic legends of the universe.
I like that little pat on the head.
A little pat on the head.
Thanks.
That's a good
A
whistle.
little pop pat.
Hey, everybody, welcome!
What? Where were you just now, Adam?
I was out there.
Oh.
I was out
Did
there.
we get you back?
In the multiverse.
You're in the swamp.
Ooh, which Earth were you
I
on?
was deep in the swamp. Earth 2211.
Whoa.
2211.
2211.
Hey,
Look
yo.
it up. Deep cut. Hey, everybody. Welcome to DC Movie News. We got a very full squad, as you can tell. Full of some familiar faces. I wish we had more news-related stories to talk about.
It's like last week was the same thing, man. I was like, come on.
We're in a bit of these doldrums right now as we get closer to July.
Yeah,
and,
you're right.
You know,
You guys know
Comic-Cons
what's
and
happening,
things.
though.
What's that?
You know what's happening.
Tell me what's happening.
We're not the hottest ticket on the.
Yeah, Rox, you're right.
Because currently
Trade.
there's the distinguished competition, or that's us. Well, the guys across the street are on their way to having the #1 grossing film of all time.
Yes.
And James
Titanic.
Cameron is acknowledging it all over his Instagram.
What did he say?
Did you not see that?
Well, I saw that he acknowledged it, but what did he say?
He Instagrammed a picture of the A being the iceberg that hit the Titanic.
Yeah.
The A,
And he
the-
said,
From Avengers.
For the Avengers.
Oh,
So he said the iceberg is what sank the Titanic, but it took the Avengers to sink my Titanic.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
I'm like, clever camera.
Listen,
Bitter,
that's
clever.
awesome. I'm so curious to see if James Cameron can pull off the ultimate hat trick and make us want these 4 movies that nobody claims they want.
Someone made a great point that said James Cameron's throwing that little picture out there because he's got another one ready to go for when Avatar 2 or whatever beats Endgame. And I'm going to say this.
No shot.
Still to this day, I don't understand how that movie made what it was, 2 point whatever billion dollars. I saw it once because the 3D, everyone said you got to see the 3D thing. I saw it once. I don't own it. I've never seen it since. I don't get the love of that movie.
Aren't you
at all.
awesome?
I get the love of Endgame. I get it.
Yeah.
And I get the build up to it.
I agree. I think I get Avatar because what it was it was a movie as almost like a ride. You know, the way they really evolved 3D and the
Well,
story.
because they were going to make it into a ride, a whole land.
Yeah, which they eventually. Well, I mean,
Will.
I don't know if they knew they were going to do that at the time, but you know, when they
I think that
made
was the
it,
intention.
10 years before.
Yeah, like they were like planning on making it like a franchise when it first came out.
Well, you know, we covered it on FX Movie Download, so we knew when they had the plans for Avatar Land. But that was, I mean, I don't think when they made the movie they could have known that they were going to do that, just because it was a total unknown quantity, and they didn't have the relationship with Disney at that time. It's kind of weird
like
that Avatar
Secret
Land.
Life of Pets did it. Like as they're making it, they're like, we're gearing this towards the ride.
Okay.
happens.
All I'm saying is, and this is not, by the way, guys, this is not Avatar movie news, just
No,
in
it's
case you
not.
thought it was.
You don't know that. We like to always transition.
I get the international appeal and how it was just sort of a thing that you could get on and get into, but story-wise, it doesn't seem people really love it. So it's interesting that Disney's plan for the next couple of years is going a 1-2 alternating punch with Star Wars and Avatar, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, let's introduce everybody that's here today. You know, the man at the end of the table.
I apologize. I'm
Is
looking
this
at my
your
phone.
first show that you've ever done?
No.
Because did you just try to whisper something to me with a live mic in front of you?
You looked at me like this. You're like, get off your phone. There is a.
Because I told everybody before, I'm tweeting from DC Movie News Live Twitter right now so that the link gets out so everybody can have it.
Right.
And he's just sitting here. I'm looking at what he's doing, just scrolling.
Because there is a
and-
fan of this show that asked me like
So,
5 days ago, he's like,
I'm
Mike,
not done.
are you going to answer this stuff on DC Movie News? I go, dude, tweet me out to me right before the show. That way I can answer
So
your questions. So I'm
tap-
getting to a fan.
I tap him like he's about to come to you, and instead of just paying attention, he starts trying to talk to me. There's a microphone in front of you.
Is that what this thing is right here?
Mike Kalinowski is here, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Kalinowski.
Hello, everybody. I'm to my fans out there, the show. I'm looking up the tweet that they did out to me this week because they had some serious questions for this show that'll be great for this panel. So I'm trying to get to it.
To my
Mike,
fans
that's what I'm
out
doing.
there. To
Yes,
my fans.
Mike, get there, answer the fans. Also,
Mike's
someone who
so easy.
has
Trying to find it. I don't know where
someone
it
who
is.
has a lot of
Cerise.
fans and a great shirt on today.
I found
and
him.
trying
I got it.
to
I got it.
get the Twitter word out there. The crown jewel of DC movie news, Roxy Striar
Here to
is here.
stay. Hello. So honored to
Really
be
do
here.
love the
Just
shirt.
think-
I love the sleeves.
All
That's what
right. So peek behind, peek behind the curtain.
You don't have to do this.
No, I'm just saying. I may or may not have thought that there was more coverage going on than there was when I got dressed in the dark.
There's not.
There's a nice little microphone blocking us. Don't you try to zoom in. There we go. I don't have to do this. You guys said it 4 times in the first 3 minutes of the show. Good Wonder Woman shirt,
And
Adam.
returning to the show. Oh, that's right. Fan favorite, cosplay aficionado, comic convention queen. Elena Jordan is here.
Hey!
Is that fair? Comic convention queen?
I like that.
I just came up with that
title.
alliterative title.
I really like it.
Alliterative.
Alliterative.
I'm Adam Gertler, and I'm happy to be here talking about DC movie news.
Which voice is that?
That's my new host voice.
Oh, what does FX think of that?
Jonny LoQuasto is no longer here, so I feel like I need to come up with a new persona. If I'm gonna sit in this chair, I gotta hold it down. So it might be this guy. Hey guys,
I liked your Hobo Lobo better.
we'll keep
I did
workshopping
like
it.
Hobo Lobo.
We'll keep workshopping it. Let's talk about the Suicide Squad too, because that casting rumors every week. Last week we had David Dastmalchian coming as Polka Dot Man.
Das Malchian, yeah.
Dastmalchian.
He is, and I'm so excited because I actually got to talk to him after
Again?
that on Collider.
Oh.
And so I have some tidbits for you guys if you want to
I would love it.
hear
I would love it.
them.
So wait, this is post when you and
This is after our
Okay,
So
after the
we-
Moxie episode, this in the comic book panel, there would be like a CDC movie news last week. Adam, there you
Last
go.
week on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we're doing
Okay,
TV.
so you had. Yeah, but I like comics.
I like TV.
I got what you
David Dastmalchian.
Yeah, so he came on and he was not able to talk too much about the Suicide Squad, but what he did talk to us about was Suicide Squad and loving the movie, loving James Gunn, being a huge fan of his, and having had conversations.
Wait, you
with
said
him.
he couldn't talk about the Suicide Squad, but he talked about Suicide Squad. So
Yes.
clarify.
So the Suicide Squad is the second one.
new
Oh,
one.
is that what it's called?
Yes.
Officially, that's the
Yeah.
title.
And Suicide Squad is the first one.
Does that mean that there's no way they're gonna call Batman the Batman? Is that like?
I have no
It's
idea.
a weird. That's an
Maybe.
interesting. That's an interesting.
Because everyone just
choice.
assumed it was called the Batman, but
But that's the Suicide Squad versus Suicide Squad. That is a demarcation. That is a fine line between
Yeah.
general movie going
Well,
public.
it's because they don't want it to be like it's a reboot more than a sequel.
It's also
Ish.
strange though for social media nowadays because
Yeah.
don't you feel like anything that starts
Yeah.
with a the, people just drop the anyways and hashtag the rest of it.
And people
so,
go, "I'd like one ticket for Suicide Squad, please." They're not gonna say not that it matters, but it's.
why did you give me this ticket for this movie from 4 years ago?
Right.
Screw you!
that would be very
Theaters
confusing.
like
You get sent to this theater in hell. You
capitalizing
know?
on this.
Yeah. And we tried to poke and prod a little bit. He was
You
wearing
tried to poke the
Polka.
dot.
It's so hard for me not to call him David Dalmatian when he's playing Polka Dot Man too, because it sounds so close to Dalmatian.
Well, this is
don't
what
know
I
if
was
it's just
what
me,
I was
I'm
about to
sorry.
say about that is that he wears very unique clothing often that like kind
The actor does.
Yes, and he almost resembled what he was wearing polka dots, and so we tried to, but he was not having it. It's clearly under strict law and order right now, saying don't you dare speak
Okay,
out.
so he just talked about being a fan of James Gunn.
A
and
huge fan of James Gunn, James Gunn's.
Jimmy Gunn.
How do you say that? He's a fan of James Gunn's.
Yeah,
Fan
He's a fan of
Gunn's.
James Gunn's writing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you can't just say
James
he's a fan
Gunn's
of James
writing.
Gunn's. He's a fan of James Gunn.
Well, if I was like, I'm a fan of
you
Elena
making it-
Jordan's, like you wouldn't say it like that.
No,
would
you
put
do.
it-
I'm a fan of Elena Jordan.
No, I'm a fan of a.
I'm a
like
fan. I'm
everybody
a
saying
fan
that
of
they're a fan
Elena
of me, though.
Jordan's costume.
I think
work.
you can get away with the apostrophe
depends on
S
the
there.
fit.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
It's like I'm a fan of his.
I'm a fan of his.
Yeah.
whatever. He's a big fan of James.
It implies possession, right? So if I'm a fan of his implying possession, apostrophe S would imply
Typically,
possession.
you would put the subject after to make it clear.
Welcome
but
to
you don't actually
DC
have
movie
to.
grammar news.
Yeah, we already talked about alliteration.
So
we have some puns. Let's have some more literary devices.
Excuse me.
He did seem very excited for his future.
And he's MCU as well.
Yes, he is
He's-
Ant-Man and
Kurt. And
Yeah.
Ant-Man.
And
But it looks like
he's also going to film Dune.
if I'm reading tea leaves, it doesn't look like they're going to do a third Ant-Man. It looks like Ant-Man will continue to be like an Avenger and continuing player in that world. So it's
I
not
kind of feel that way
surprising.
as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. But what's really exciting, and somebody else from like sort of the James Gunn playbook, an actor that he worked with a lot, an actor that was very popular on Walking Dead, and then had a great turn as Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy, is Michael Rooker. And it sounds like he's the King Shark.
Yeah.
Taking a bite
King
out of
Shark,
some
y'all.
more
It's
work,
interesting
man.
because for this movie, we are getting casting news as well as character news because we don't know who's going to be in this film. So it's always great to pair those two. I almost like it when the internet doesn't have a chance to dreamcast. And we're like, not only are we going to give you what it is, but who is playing him as well. So
Yeah.
stop right there. And I think this is great casting.
Thank you, Roxy. You bring up a good point because I think we all just assumed King Shark was going to be in it because he's such a big part of the comics and
We've
he's in the
talked about
animated.
it on
We
the
talked about
show.
it, but it was never announced. He was never in the script. We didn't know.
Yeah.
So these came out together. So thank you, Roxy.
But continuing,
welcome, Mike.
but continuing these weird, distant characters. Yeah, even though King Shark is on Flash now, and people have seen him like,
Yeah.
Oh, in
still
the best way,
out
too.
there characters. Elena, what do you think of Michael Rooker coming on board? Does it surprise you?
No, it doesn't surprise me at all because after James Gunn was fired from Guardians 3, he was like the first one to come out and be like, this is a huge mistake. James Gunn is a genius. And I loved him too. Like Sliver. Did you see Sliver?
I still haven't seen Sliver. but
I
love
still
it.
never heard of Sliver. What is Sliver?
Slither.
Slither.
Oh, Slither.
Yeah. He
Sliver
plays,
is
Sharon Stone movie.
Yeah, he plays Grant.
Yes.
With Tom
Rickman.
Berenger.
one of the Baldwins.
One of the bald
Alex.
ones. Okay, and also
No.
the
Brian.
UB40 in it.
Who?
UB40 song in Sliver.
Yes.
Yes, awesome. Look it up, guys.
But the fact that he can play like so dramatic, but then also we've seen him as Yondu, he can be
Yeah.
really charismatic and really funny too. I think it's perfect casting for this character.
Yeah, I'm
Because,
King
I mean,
Shark, y'all.
having,
Yeah.
like, the muscle. I mean, because Killer Croc is pretty much out, right? Like we know.
I
that.
think so. I think
think
there's
so.
no
So
way.
I think
yeah.
this is kind of stepping into that role. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Michael Rooker doesn't strike me as the biggest guy in the world.
But he does look big in the face. I don't mean that as not.
No, he does
compliment.
have a
just
gigantic head.
His
He
head looks like his
somebody
body could be
who would
huge.
yeah, like if you CGI'd the rest of
Maybe
him, you
that's
wouldn't
why
be
he's
like,
charismatic.
that's weird. Like it would look like it made
It's
sense.
true that there's the talk that the bigger your head is, the more charismatic you are on camera.
Somebody,
Also, the less likely your mom smoked weed during your pregnancy.
I didn't know that.
I have a very small head, and my mom didn't smoke weed. No, it's very true. If you look, and I will say this because I've met this man and I've worked with him, and I shouldn't say it like that. I didn't work with him really. Chris Pine, biggest melon I've ever seen on a man in my life.
What do you mean you kind of worked with him?
I worked on, like I say, I was on Star Trek, Into Darkness, but I didn't never worked a scene with him.
Why?
But you
Starfleet
saw-
officer.
Why
I was
wouldn't-
Starfleet officer
Why wouldn't you be able to say that?
because I really didn't work with him.
Okay.
right.
I saw him on
He didn't
set.
want to false brag.
Right.
Be like,
I
"Whoa,
did not
I've
do
worked
it.
with Pine. But he
peed-
saw his giant head from a
peed
distance.
next to Carl Urban in the bathroom, though. if that's
And
anything.
how is that head?
Whoa, yowza!
Roxy.
Look at that.
But
Carl,
no,
Carl
so
Urban
baby.
news coming up later in the show.
the bigger
love
that the bigger your head on camera, it just reads, and it's a more charismatic thing. And that explains why Chris Pine is one of the most charismatic men on camera.
Ben Affleck too. He's got like a
Yeah,
giant.
they-
I
big
remember
heads.
I remember Turtle breaking that down on Entourage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's true.
Let's head
Yeah,
over.
a different Aquaman.
Ha ha ha. Let's head over to the chat for a second. In case you guys didn't know, every Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can go to Popcorn Talks YouTube and join us live for the show. We actually incorporate you in all of our conversations. Right now, talking about this casting, Evan says Rooker is perfect casting. He is great in Earthang. Do you think I did that right? Yeah,
Earthang.
possibly. Mayor says Rick Flag is coming back. So
Do we know that for sure?
it's all so
rumored.
sporadically
I love Kenan,
released. So I don't know if I would be positive about that. Jenna says, I think he would have been better as Lobo, but I'm fine with him as King Shark.
Oh.
But we already have Hobo Lobo.
Yeah,
How
we
are
do.
we going to recast our Lobo?
Also, ABM says, "Hey, cast Mickey Rourke as Clayface."
Oh, that's a dig.
And then you read it out loud.
Well,
So how do you feel about
because
yourself?
I love Mickey Rourke. I love him. Like I root for this guy, and he just can't get it
He
going.
had that sweet spot coming off of his Oscar, and then he got Iron Man 2, and then it just went south again.
And I'm one of the few people that like Iron Man 2 and like him in it. But
I like Iron Man 2 too.
yeah, I think some people are starting to get off of that and start to appreciate it.
my bird.
I want to buy board.
I want my bird.
I love it. Anyway, that would have been good casting. But you know, someone who we know is in the film and we don't know who they're playing yet, and there's a lot of rumors, is Idris Elba. And
handsome man.
just today, somebody was trying to get it out there that they might be playing Deathstroke. Also-
Sometimes when you look at me, I don't know whether you want me to finish your sentence or let you have your moment.
Doesn't
and I
matter.
couldn't
He
tell
wanted you
just
to finish
there.
the sentence. I
He
got
did?
that.
Oh, he
Doesn't
was doing
matter.
the shaky thing with his head. And I was
Doesn't
like, is he
matter.
doing it?
It's sometimes you make an offer, sometimes it's refused. You gotta know.
It was a visual ellipsis. I got it.
I mean, I actually
like,
shook my jowls, but
like
it's
one-
okay.
Dot, dot, dot.
Well, because Roxy and I were talking about this before, and we had gotten to the source of it, and this is, there's,
Well, it was interesting because I also, and I don't know if you guys at home, I was under the impression that if something was trending #1 on my phone on Twitter, that it was trending #1 on your phone on Twitter because I have it set to USA. And so I sent a screenshot this morning to the DC chat, and I said, Deathstroke's trending #1, and I can't figure out why.
Right.
Adam so graciously did not decide to correct me. Really, it's just trending #1 on my phone. That's how often I'm searching Deathstroke. But it was somebody from Barstool who had tweeted out. I'll try to find the initial tweet.
Barstow, California?
No, Barstool
Not
Sports.
Barstow.
Oh, Barstool Sports. Oh.
Is there Barstool, California?
There's Barstow.
Barstow.
well, I
said,
can
though.
tell you the casting rumor to go along
Fear
with
and
this
Loathing in
is
Las
that
Vegas.
there's a casting going out looking for someone to play the daughter of Idris Elba, which led people to think that another possibility besides Deathstroke might be this character, Sportsmaster. Now, I don't know what you know, Mike. You're
Just
more
Young
of an
Justice.
expert. Okay. Also, this is another character that goes all the way back to 1947, though.
Sportsmaster does?
Yes. I just looked up. It's another one of these DC characters that's been in a lot of different incarnations. That makes it seem...
But it makes sense because he's even said like that the Yale, the original run, like the Yale and Ostrander, is what he was taking from.
Right. Well,
So
but Sportsmaster way predates even Suicide
But
Squad.
it's a
but
bit,
yeah.
right? But
What's that?
Isn't that referenced? Isn't he referenced like briefly? But
I couldn't even find anything for Sportsmaster being Suicide Squad. That
Yeah,
may have
I don't-
happened, but he's more affiliated with other supervillain
Yeah.
teams that I
Yes.
found. And again, probably in a completely different incarnation, but has been around since 47, which does sound very James Gunnian. Like he likes to go deep and like make his own characters, without too much baggage.
Let me read what the tweet said, and then you comment on
Yeah, I'm
it.
not
This
saying
is
anything
from
else.
@Robbie Barstool. His name is Robbie Fox. He said, hearing some very interesting whispers about Idris Elba's character in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Wouldn't it be awesome if he were playing Deathstroke with a winky face?
Now,
and then
click
a
on his
picture
name.
of Deathstroke.
What does he run?
Barstool.
But what is that? Is that
Barstool
a pundit?
Sports.
It's a sports. Barstool Sports is a massive sports company.
So a sports company is... Oh, and I see where people think Sportsmaster because he's a sports company. He's thinking he's hearing things with this. Is that what we're doing? Are we putting
no,
this to
those
this
two
to
things
this?
are unrelated.
Because this strikes me it strikes me of how this morning Chad Stahelski of John Wick 3 was said something about the new Matrix movies, and every pundit this morning said Wachowskis are working on new Matrix, and then 20 minutes later said redacted all those news agents like, guys, he was misquoted, we didn't mean that. I think that's
No, he does a show called My Mom's Basement for the company. He does talk like Batman and things like that.
Okay, so he's not just a sports guy.
He's not just the company started as a sports company. Have you never heard of Barstool Sports? Okay,
I don't know sports.
It started as it was a Boston sports company. Moved to New York, then
Right up
Chicago,
your
then
alley.
all over the world.
Okay.
And so they sometimes now have split off into the nerd space as all these
Gotcha.
companies
That
do.
I did not know. Thank you.
But it's still strange because they do not break news in our space a lot.
Right.
Fair to
Right.
say.
That's what I'm saying. It's not in our
It's not
zeitgeist.
it's not a credible source that we know of all
Right.
the time, but it definitely was not him saying that he was cast. He was saying, wouldn't it be awesome with a winky face? Some people are looking at that like he knows something we don't know.
Right.
Some people are looking at that like he's a guy who has an opinion, and
Right.
wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
He
that's
did say
right.
he was hearing interesting things, so it's
But how is
it's
he hearing
directly
interesting things?
yeah.
Maybe about the
Somebody
daughter
working on the film?
casting.
Is he based out of New York and Boston?
I would have to assume
I'm
that
gonna
he's.
assume then I don't.
Would that
Anybody who
interest?
doesn't cite sources like
And
in
you're
the
not.
tweet, then I'm
You're
like,
not
who
in
are you?
this city.
Yeah.
Would you
It's-
guys
it's a
interest? Would that be
weird-
interesting to you, or do you think it would be a mistake to replace Manganiello before he has a chance to the role?
That's what I'm saying.
or-
Manganiello has not. He's still
Yeah, he
cast.
hasn't
We have
really-
not replaced any actors.
I think it would be a big mistake, and I think that I've thought this the whole time that he should be Bronze Tiger.
That's what I think. I think he is Bronze Tiger.
So I think this would be a mistake because I love Manganiello. I think that he would be great to have here. I don't know if we necessarily need him in the Suicide Squad, but him in our universe.
That is a casting that was unanimous across the board. Everyone loved him. He had the one pop up. People loved it. He's in the back pocket, I think. Just keep him ready in the gun. Put that chamber there and the bolt in the chamber. Fire it off whenever you need to.
And the James gun.
Yes.
It would be interesting to see. I guess I'm of the opinion like you could replace Deathstroke because he hasn't really played it, and they have no reason to stick to the canon. And if they wanted to make him Deathstroke, they can make him Deathstroke.
but do you think he's the best? Do you want him to be Deathstroke, regardless of the?
He's
canon?
certainly a better actor than Joe Manganiello. I would say 10 times out of 10. Like he's an Academy Award level actor, and I think Manganiello is a good actor.
And do you think Deathstroke needs that kind of actor?
Not necessarily. It really just depends on the script and what you're asking him to do. If he's carrying the film, then yeah, I think you do need a better actor. I don't want to see an actor sit on the. I don't want to see a film sit on the shoulders of somebody that just looks good in the suit anymore.
Did you see Rampage?
I did not.
Manganiello plays a very kind of Deathstrokey character. He's
Okay.
not the lead. He's a supporting character, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
But we've talked. I don't think Deathstroke should lead a film. I don't think he's good enough to lead a film. He's the hired gun you hire.
You're talking about the character, not the
Character
actor.
Deathstroke. So
Yeah.
I think Manganiello being that, I don't think you waste Idris Elba on that. I think, yeah.
Let's go to the chat for a second right now. Archie says Idris Elba deserves a big character. I don't think any of us disagree with that. There's no way you put Idris Elba in one of these movies and kind of throw him off to the side.
cameo.
Spencer Straub says Roxy, I agree. Keep Joe and use Idris as Bronze Tiger. And then Josh says Bronze Tiger will be in Suicide Squad 2.
I think so.
Which people continue to call it. And Senior Nerd says I think he's Captain Cold, which would be a strange casting for.
I don't think so.
I gotta say, I love how much guessing is still out there, and I love that across the board, people seem excited about Suicide Squad 2 or The Suicide Squad, which yes, I didn't know. What do you mean? I'm not knocking Joe's acting skills, Spencer Straub. He's a good actor. I just think Idris Elba's kind of a next level guy. Like I see a definite Academy Award in his future. That's all I'm saying. Like
I think you make a good point. If
I think
it's
he's
a
got more
bigger
chops.
role, then
Yeah.
they're going to probably go with a bigger actor. If it's a smaller role, they'll.
Yeah. So anyway, we have a lot of exciting things to look forward to, and people are jazzed about it. A little more casting news that wasn't as Charlize Theron was doing the rounds to promote Longshot. It came up that she was made aware of a role in Wonder Woman.
Oh, yes.
And then she was like, "Oh, tell me about this role." As many of you know, she won an Academy Award for being directed by Wonder Woman's director, Patty
Yes.
Jenkins.
Jenkins.
So
Monster.
it seems weird that she would be out of the Wonder Woman loop because Patty Jenkins was not doing a lot of things or not a lot of high-profile things in the interim. But then it came out that the role Charlize was being offered was for Wonder Woman's mother, and she was just making a comment. She was like, "Wow," she felt like that was the slap in the face of knowing that she had crossed over from playing the younger lead to
Charlize said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
To
She
like.
said, this is her quote.
Thank you.
I did not turn the role of Wonder Woman down. This is a great example of how Hollywood slaps you in the face when you start aging. So somebody had said to me, there's action on this thing, Wonder Woman. We just want to make sure you're aware of it. And I was like, I'm not familiar with it. I mean, what does Wonder Woman do? And then this person
also
said,
weird
no,
to me.
it's for Wonder Woman's mom. It's fine. It was the defining moment where I crossed over and I wasn't fully aware of it.
Now,
But at the same time, she is admitting in that statement she didn't really know like what was expected of the role of Wonder Woman or the Themyscirans, and that it wasn't going to be kind of like this ageless mother character that Connie ended up not. I mean, she's 21 years versus what, like
9.
9 years difference, but still, like I mean,
how old's Connie Nielsen? Do we know?
She was
she's
21 years older than Gal.
Than Gal.
Okay.
Whereas Charlize is only 9 years older.
Okay.
She did say, though, look, I would love to work with her again, obviously referring to Patty Jenkins. I didn't take this as a blow to anybody except to herself, which was, woof, woof.
No, I say this. I think.
You didn't think of it that way?
No, I just don't think the casting would have been as good. It just wouldn't have read
wouldn't
as
have been
well
as
to me.
good.
Like her as the mother, like Connie Nielsen, like it read better. Like I was just trying to think, seeing Charlize, and it would have been like too much young womanly hotness to be like, oh, you're the woman. It would have felt more like somebody's fantasy than like I'm actually buying. I guess it's all somebody's fantasy where we're talking about Amazons, but
What were you gonna say, Mike?
I don't think it's a slap at all. I don't think. I think when it was offered or even bandied about, she wasn't going to play Wonder Woman, and not for that she couldn't. That role was cast. I think Patty Jenkins probably was one of the people that said, "Hey, she will kill this." It is not an age thing. I don't think it was like we need an older woman to play her mother. It was an we want a woman that is confident. We need a woman that is a woman that owns who she is. And you think of actors in Hollywood, Charlize Theron is the upper echelon of that is a confident ass woman that knows exactly who she
with
is.
action, and
She
that's
can-
like a
she
big
can
thing with
handle
all
all
the
the
battle
action.
scenes.
I don't think we're thinking of slap in the face the way she intended. I think she meant wake up call. Like
Yeah.
She
it,
thought,
it was
yeah.
I don't
it
think
was a
she
splash
should've-
of water on the face.
I don't-
I
I
think
think-
to her, she thought it meant like, oh,
Mom.
I'm playing like old woman. I'm
Yeah.
playing a mom. Whereas
I'm
like
doing
she's
Diane Lane in Man of Steel.
yeah.
They're
Whereas
gonna make
like
they're gonna age
saying
me down.
exactly.
And I
Whereas
think
this is saying like no, she wasn't aware that the actual source material is saying that the Amazons all for the most part look pretty young.
I don't think they
Zeno
ever had-
Hour says Charlize Theron is 43, Connie Nielsen is 53.
Okay,
so there's
10
a
years.
10-year difference.
But I don't think. I don't
but
think.
still the 21-year difference between Gal.
Right.
If they would have
So
had
it's
a
a
sit
10,
down,
11, yeah.
like, hey, this is the character, and I think Charlize gonna go, oh, okay.
But also, it just doesn't seem like a role. It seems like Charlize is too big a star for that role. Like, it just wouldn't. I don't
Sure,
think the
I get
casting
it.
would have worked.
I
It's
think
like
it's yeah. I think
sometimes you have like too big a recognizable face in a minor role. It kind of makes you like do your head turn. You're like, oh, what's going on?
But
like,
it's also like if they had Nicole Kidman as Aquaman's
That's what I'm
mom,
saying.
like
That's it
it's
right
like
there.
that's not a slap in the face.
At
it's
all.
like she's a young, hot.
that's
looking
exactly what they were going
queen.
for, and I think
Yeah.
it's. I
but
think
she's also 10 years older.
But also, when you got a gal, remember this was her first major movie. You surround her with all those, and like that's what we call
sure.
You surround her with all these phenomenal actors, and they
And strong
elevate them.
action
Yes.
packed.
And seeing, I think
It
yeah,
wasn't intended as a
No.
slap. I feel like it's if she knew all of the details, she wouldn't have felt that way.
right. I think so. Yep. There we go.
okay, so
I
no,
kinda- yeah.
no
We like
Wonder
it,
Woman,
Charlize.
no Wonder Woman.
You're atomic blonde.
But it was a nice fact that you brought up Nicole Kidman because she will probably be back in Aquaman 2. But the question is, and chat room, I'm very curious as to what you guys think.
know.
So Disney last week says we're taking a break from Star Wars. I saw you comment on this, Mikey.
That a crap storm that started off.
I know.
God.
I know, Mike. I love how you just say whatever's there. God bless you, child. You put it out there.
I don't think it's going to cause a crap storm sometimes, but it does.
You know
Yes,
what?
you-
At
yes,
least
you
you can
do.
cause a
I
crap
thought that was
storm.
going to cause a crap storm.
Yes, I do think you thought
No.
that, or I don't think you were thinking.
I don't think I could say anything that would cause a crap storm. What I say goes largely overlooked. So just be positive that you can cause a crap storm.
Yeah, true.
However, Disney announces that yes, we are taking a little break from
This was
Star
a little
Wars.
while ago.
But then they're going to do a new Star Wars movie in the December of 2022, 2024, and
So-
2026.
Opposite of Avatar.
Avatar.
So
Yes.
it's going to go Avatar, Star Wars,
Avatar,
Avatar,
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Yes,
Every
which is what we
December.
alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
So, which I still think is crazy because as we open the show talking Avatar news, like that's a lot of investment on Disney's part on James Cameron. But how do you not bet on James Cameron? It's a really interesting thing. Like, how do you not bet on the guy that is
so
at
He's
like the
filming
top?
They're
3,
part
4.
of them
He's filming
now.
2, 3, 4, and 5 at
Yeah.
the same time.
They're
Yeah.
part of that.
It's the only major blockbuster that Disney is keeping under the Fox banner is Avatar, and I think maybe one other thing, like maybe Kingsman or something like that.
Yeah, I
but Kingsman
forgot
isn't
about
on
that.
the same
I forgot
level
they
as
owned
this.
it.
So Aquaman staked out 2022, saying, "Yeah, we're giving 4 years apart from the first Aquaman. It made $1 billion, but." Can it compete with Star Wars opening in that
I
time?
got thoughts. First of all,
Mikey,
yeah, I'm going to
you-
come on my hot take because
Let's
people
go
are like,
with you.
Mike, it's going to be 3 years before our next Star Wars. That is a break. No, it's not. Wonder Woman is 3 years between them. Did they go, we're taking a break with Wonder Woman? Aquaman's going to be 4 years. Did DC go, we're taking a break? No. 3 years between Star Wars, the things we got is not a break. That is them going, oh, we got to get these Star Wars films out there.
They mean that a break from what we've seen with
I
Star
get it,
Wars
but
to
it's
this
like,
point, which
they
has been every
oversaturated Star
December.
Wars.
And they're
Because
not
for
doing it
3
every year.
years, this was the
Right.
thing, was
Wait.
they were trying to make Star Wars your
But that
Christmas
said-
Wait,
movie.
hold
To
on,
that
Mike.
said-
Explain though. Are you mad about that? What are you?
I think it was
or
a BS term because
what was?
they realized the fans
word
were
break.
upset.
You're upset about the word break, or you're upset about the fact that it's coming in 3 years?
I think the break is. I think what they had said and the break is a
misleading.
They realize the Star Wars fans like, oh,
So the word break is upsetting
yeah.
you. Okay, it's the
yeah.
word.
It doesn't matter. I don't think DC should move. I think Aquaman got $1 billion and some odd dollars versus the last couple Star Wars that the fans have not been happy about. I think DC should go take their zip it out, to pull it on the table and go, you move Star Wars.
Whip out their porpoise?
You move Star Wars. I think more people are excited
out
about
their
Aquaman
choco?
2 than whatever Star Wars thing
Bang
is going
that
to
drum?
come. Whatever Star Wars thing is going to come, I think Aquaman 2 is more excited. People are more excited for that. I'm going to put...
Whoa!
You put that trident on the table. You put that trident on the table, DC. Don't you
Trident
move.
versus Saber.
Because remember
on
this?
the
Remember these
table.
talks? I remember
Flop
all
them
the
out.
pundits is like, oh, we got a girl in an umbrella and a transformer. DC better move. DC better move. That little lady in the umbrella's going to stomp all over him. How good did Mary Poppins do
This
against
is the thing,
Aquaman?
though. I think
Not.
that you
Hot
are
take
more
done.
passionate than most of the executive producers who are making this decision. I think
No.
that they're going to play chicken. I think they're going to move it at least 1 week because it's literally the same day. It's 12/16/22.
Nope.
Xeno
It's not a Skywalker franchise.
Xeno
It's
Hour
not a-
says it's not a saga film, but I think it
That's what I'm
probably is.
And
I
so on
think
the
it
saga
probably is
film-
a new saga film.
And on the
is.
saga film, so we're going to have some kind of Skywalker connection or something?
No saga. The Skywalker saga, I understand, is done. I think they're
one's
starting
done.
a new trilogy with
So
a
it
new
has no-
connected story.
No, Aquaman, you stay right where
my
you are.
opinion
Are you
is
talking
that,
about Benioff and Weiss?
Yes.
They're starting their new
Yeah.
saga.
Yeah.
A saga.
And I
A-
think
a
the more
trilogy
spin-off
that's
stuff,
unrelated.
I think the spin-off stuff is going to be more the Disney Plus stuff. And I think they're not going to try to do a movie every year again because I
They're
think,
doing it every other.
yeah, like if you go by Solo, sure, but
That's what they were doing before was a movie every other year. No, it wasn't.
It
Here's
was
what I
every
will
year.
comment
That's
on.
why their break is 3 years, because that would have been 3 movies worth. They could have done
But
a
they're gonna be
trilogy.
plot-
So
Probably
I
Disney
care.
Plus
Okay,
stuff
I
down.
care less about that and more
Okay.
about whether or not we think that Aquaman should go up against Star Wars or move their date. That's
Okay.
the question on the table right now, right?
Yeah.
So I believe that we should not
to the
move our
singer,
date. What?
Sorry, you said it on the table, and I was like, next to the trident.
I believe that they should not move their date because I think that Star Wars is going to do what they're going to do. I don't think Star Wars is going to move their date, but I do think that this year we did take on Spider-Verse, we did take on Mary Poppins, and we did take on Transformers.
Yeah,
and
and
we still
destroyed
did.
them.
And it's not about destroying them; it's about if we did well. Because I
Okay.
don't know if we're going to destroy Star Wars, and I don't think that's the goal.
Right.
I think there's enough fans to go around, and there's enough weekend space that people can see both movies. I think that if we think that we have the best shot of doing well in December, regardless of them being there, then I've heard people say it's a respect thing. Star Wars has December spot. No movie has.
Have they ever played that? Because how many times has Star Wars or
So-
whatever gone and moved to DC movies going? Because originally they moved one to hit Aquaman's Day.
I hope
So
Star
don't
Wars.
respect them.
I'm a massive Star Wars fan. I hope Star Wars crushes. I'm a massive DC fan. I hope Aquaman crushes. There is room for both of us to kill.
But do you think that if they moved Aquaman to the first weekend of December versus the second weekend of December and had that 1 week difference before Star Wars comes out, that they would make more money to the point that they feel that moving it up
well,
would
we're
be
also-
worth it?
I do think so, but what is the weekend before? And what is the weekend before that? And do we start competing
The
with
second
Warner Brothers
week-
properties?
Not as much from what I saw, because it seems like they're pushing most things to the second week of December, because that's always the big, like, that's why they went ahead and blocked out. That's why Disney blocked out all the way to 27.
my opinion is that I think Aquaman will move. I think they should move.
To where?
I
So-
don't think they should move all the way up to mid-November.
They're going to move to November, is
I
my
think
prediction.
They should be the last week of
me-
November. I don't think they should move up a full month. I think they should move up 2
Sometime
weeks.
in November.
Let me
But
say
I do
this.
think they will move at least 2 weeks.
Let's not forget this. Because Star Wars, The Break, not going to have movies for 3 years. We're
Yeah.
going to have DC films all at this. And if it's going the way we feel it's been going, the way these films have been building, we're going to get the Batman. We're going to get Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. These films are going to be, the audience is going to be
Joker.
craving this. They're going to be on that roll. It is, by that point, 3 years from now, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So-
we could potentially, if they don't screw up, if they keep doing what they're doing right and they've found their success, the fans will be hungry. They'll be after it. Don't move.
Couple of people in the chat roll kind of echo what I'm thinking, which is why not make Aquaman the Thanksgiving treat?
It could be great also.
Yeah.
I just don't think we should move out of anything other than what's best for us.
Right.
It shouldn't be about any other
And I
franchise.
think-
What's best for us.
I agree, and I think that's what it is, though. Ultimately, you're not. It's not about playing chicken, and it's not about who has more respect. It has about Star Wars is like. Do you want to go into that? Just do you want to go into that fight just to get into that fight?
Someone made a good point that's in the chat. In this, we have to think about. And people have reached out to me about this. A lot of people, especially that time of the year, don't have the extra money to go to so many films in a theater. And I didn't realize this. Because people are like, Mike, it's a budget thing. And I go, that is so smart, because if you look at Shazam, people say it didn't do so well. It's like, because you had Captain Marvel, you had Endgame. So in that span, if they had to choose movies, they're going to choose those
Shazam
two.
did pretty well.
It did. But I'm just saying, if you had to choose... And so people look at Christmas, you've got your family, you've got Christmas and the holidays. Movies are kind of go by the wayside. Well, I can only see one big movie with the family. What is it going to be?
I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, and I'm saying this as
please
the
do.
host of DC Movie News
Please
for
do.
4 years.
lie.
I will have seen both of these prior to this weekend because that's my job. However, if that was not my job and I hadn't done that, if there is a new Star Wars saga and it's the creators of Game of Thrones are writing and producing it, and it's the first one in the saga, or Aquaman 2, and I can only see one, I'm going to see Star Wars.
Get off the table. Get off this table.
I'm just going to be
listen,
perfectly honest.
and that's
I mean-
that's why I think that Aquaman would be doing the
Because-
right thing to move. I don't think that anybody associates Aquaman with December or November
It's
or
not
really
Batman
cares.
and it's not Wonder Woman
Yeah.
for me. And I really loved Aquaman. I liked it so much. But Aquaman 2 is not, to me, going to break my, my whole world will change.
Okay, but what
And
if I?
also, I feel. Oh,
No, I was just gonna go into the next story to tell you the fact that what does it change your thought to know that his beard will be back?
Well, it's a definite positive. I'm excited for the beard to be back.
I like it.
Mike, I upset you?
I've been worried that beard.
Yeah,
color
that
was
upset me.
gonna-
That really upset me.
Okay.
That is a hot take that I do
I will
not
say
sit
though,
well with.
a lot of people, because every year when Star Wars was doing a Christmas time release,
Yeah.
a holiday release,
I
I
enjoyed
go
that,
with
sure.
my big group of friends.
Yeah.
Every time we all go multiple times. I have an 8-foot Han Solo and carbonite rug in front of my bed, so it's like I'm with Roxy. I probably would do the same. Granted, I love.
But
I
let's
will
say-
see both.
But let's say this.
Yeah,
and
I'll
I-
go
this
see
is-
the producers of Game of Thrones and Khal Drogo
This
the
is
same
another.
weekend.
This is
I'll
another
do
hot
it.
take that Mike dropped down about Game of Thrones, because I talked to Christian Harloff about 2 years ago, and I said, "Hey, let me tell you something. The show's taking a year and a half break. When are the Game of Thrones fans going to become Walking Dead fans and hate the show and not talk about?" And he goes, "Never. They love the show. Never. It's not going to be." So now these last couple episodes, everyone's just like, "What the hell? This sucks."
Yeah,
blah, blah. And
bang.
again,
Without
it's
knowing
small.
that,
And it
we
was
would
like,
have all been in.
"There's 2 episodes left, and they're not going to tie it up right." And even the writers have said, "We're going to get drunk and be off the internet when these last 2 episodes air."
I don't know what people
Because
are
they-
talking about. It's the best show.
Yeah, I think it's
loved
great.
it. I'm not going to
just
get
saying.
into
I'm
it
going
now,
off
but
of this stuff.
the past 2 episodes have sucked. It got a 58 on Rotten Tomatoes
I thought
versus
they were
a 98
I thought they
for
were
the
2 of the
first
best
episode.
episodes of all
Really?
time.
Oh.
But they were literally 2 of the best episodes of all
Well,
time.
Roxy, you're in a minority, so
I didn't know that until you just said that.
you're a
Yeah.
minority, Roxy.
Yeah.
58
Well, you
versus
thought
like
Deathstroke
90.
was trending on Twitter, so we know your social media is that limited.
I'm with you, Roxy.
Clearly.
I've enjoyed all the episodes. I have no
no
problem. I'm
qualms.
just letting it watch over
I don't
me.
watch the show just so we know. Just
I-
everyone
yeah.
knows. I don't even watch
I'm
the
really
show.
proud of
But
most of the
anyway.
people in our chat right now, though, who would go see Aquaman before seeing Star Wars. That's probably why you're here on DC Movie News. I prefer DC to Star Wars as a whole. I'm just talking about specifically Aquaman 2. Also, we have our producer, Ryan Nilsson, in the chat right now. And I just wanted to say congratulations to our boy Ryan, who just graduated. We're so proud of him.
clapping for him.
And he said Mike did say that. I don't know what he's talking about, but
Yeah.
he did say it. Whatever it was. Totally.
Congrats, Ryan. Congrats. That's awesome,
But
buddy.
how has nobody made a beard hunter joke with Aquaman to this point?
What do you mean a
Like, I'm
beard
like,
hunter?
Beard hunter, like the DC
He's on Doom-
character
he's
that's on Doom,
Doom
Patrol,
Patrol
now,
right
like the
now.
most like buried character that is the creepiest.
I'm
He is
kinda
great.
behind on Doom
That
Patrol.
was a
on
great
Doom-
episode.
Aquaman had to shave his beard because
Him
Beard
on-
Hunter was gonna
Beard Patrol was pretty
suck it
great.
up and get him.
Him on Doom Patrol made me so nauseous.
I know,
gross.
so great.
You know the concept of him?
I do,
He
but I haven't
eats-
seen it yet.
He
He
eats
eats
facial
your
hair
beard
to
hair
find you.
track you.
Oh, I don't think it's just facial hair.
Stop.
I'm so behind on Doom Patrol.
Stop.
I think he could do it.
No.
So we
More
have
Park
some
Play, I see you in the chat,
excited
buddy. I see
stuff
you.
in the world of DC animations. We have DC Showcase is coming back.
Yes!
These are animated shorts that spotlight some of the lesser known product in the DC world. So we're going to see
They
some
used
shorts.
to attach
Yes,
them
yes, go
to
ahead.
they used to attach them to the old animated films. It's kind of like what Marvel did with the one-shots. And they were 10 minutes of, characters that would not necessarily could have a whole film. They had a Green Arrow, Jonah Hex, the Spectre. The Spectre was
Yeah,
one.
these were
Catwoman.
2010 and 2011.
They were awesome. Shazam and Superman had a full episode, and then they tagged all three of them on. And now
And
they're
they're
coming
what,
back.
right before?
They're just part of the Blu-ray. You can just
So
click
it's,
on it.
it's an option. It's
It's
not.
an-
It doesn't play
No.
before.
So the first one attached to the upcoming Hush is going to be Sergeant Rock.
Yeah.
Which is pretty exciting, taking place in World War II with Rock leading a battalion of some sort of monsters against some sort of Nazis. That sounds
The
pretty
Howling
wild.
Commandos? No, that's...
No. You're getting
What
your
were they
universes
called?
crossed.
They were something called similar to Howling Commandos. There's a monster name for them. I feel bad. Nah, I'm failing.
Chat
here.
roll will let us know. So some of these others, you're going to get Adam Strange.
Yes.
You're going to get Death from the Sandman world.
That's the one I'm most excited about.
The Phantom Stranger, which I don't know.
You know how you talk a
know
little
what
bit
that
about your Swamp Thing's your thing? Like,
Yeah.
Adam Strange is my thing that has not been given properly yet. Adam Strange.
Not on Krypton? You're not...
That's not Adam Strange
Okay.
to me. That is not. I want the Rocket Pack to fuck...
That,
funk.
that
He
out.
said, "I want the rocket pack, the funk.
Yeah.
We
The
want the
funk.
funk."
We want the funk. No, the
Da-da-da.
helmet with the fin.
Yes.
I want the helmet with the fin.
Isn't that the Rocketeer?
kind of?
Very Rocketeer-like?
I want a ray gun.
Well, it's going to get that. And also, this is the part that it confuses me. And chat roll or anybody help me out. And they also said an innovative Batman Death in the Family long form. So I don't understand how that is also a showcase if it's also a long form, but it looks like more information on Death in the Family is coming out in
Because
2020.
it's going to be packaged with 3 other ones, so that's why that's the only one that's not going to be attached with the bigger films
Because
it's
they're-
going to be packaged with 3 other
But
so
why
3
would they
shorts
do
and
Death
one
in the
long form.
Family as a short form? Because Death in the Family is like a 4-issue.
You would think it would be, yeah.
Yeah, that would be like a whole movie, I would think. Like, you wouldn't do the whole Death of Robin thing, right? Like, that seems odd.
I don't know. But I love them that they're bringing them back. I think it's phenomenal. I'm excited.
So Bruce Timm is responsible for a lot of these. Bruce
Yeah.
Timm of Batman the Animated Series. So he's still very much getting a lot of work with DC. I guess after a while there was a little gap there, but now he's like
Will
fully
he
back.
did the Fatal 5 against them?
Yeah, no, I mean he's been back. He also did the
We
Killing
don't
Joke.
say break.
We don't say break.
We don't say
That
break.
was a break though. They they didn't do anything.
It was on a break.
We were on a break.
We're on a break.
Tim was on a break.
Friends, and you don't get any excited for it?
I said it.
You're just
also.
like, we were on a break.
So that's exciting. Also, Lego Batman Family Matters release. What is this, guys? I have no idea what this is.
Not a fan of the Lego stuff.
It basically means that, like, when they release the Blu-ray in August, you can also get, like, a little mini Lego Batman mobile set that comes with it. So, like, when you get the Lego Batman movie August 6th, get the deluxe combo, and then you can make your own little Batmobile to sit on top
Right.
of your DVD.
So is this like
That's
a
kinda
direct to video
That's cool. I
new
like
Lego
it.
Batman story? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a straight-to-video, but it's, like,
Yeah.
comboed with cute stuff.
I'm
it's
in.
aimed at a younger audience, but I'm into it.
Guess
Okay.
what? Guess what?
What?
Guess
No,
what?
not yet. I gotta throw something real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on, because we go this. So Hank, it looks like Hank Shaw. Is that what you say? He asked me earlier in the week. He asked us. He wanted to know, guys, what are your predictions for Comic-Con? And I told him I'd get back to him about this. Real quick, I think we're gonna get. That's gonna be Wonder Woman 84 will dominate that panel. We're gonna
Yep.
get a full-on trailer the first time. I think the Birds of Prey people will be there.
Yes.
Joker, I'm not
Trailer?
sure.
Birds of Prey trailer?
Teaser.
I think we're gonna get a big Suicide Squad thing.
Yeah.
I think we might get
At
announcements.
the very end, here's what I will say. At the very end of the interview with David Dalsmachian, he said, "I will see you guys at Comic-Con in a big way."
now, if anyone that's ever been
And
to
then
Hall
we
H-
said, "What for? What? Like, because there's so many different franchises he could be there for, and whatever." And he was like, "Maybe I shouldn't have even said that."
Well,
but I don't know
if
what that
you've been to
looks
Hall
like.
H and seen what James Gunn does for the for his Guardians stuff, you know he takes over the room. So yeah,
It's gonna be huge.
That I think. I don't know about Joker. Joker's the wild card, but that's the closest after Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I just don't
Literally,
know.
Joker's the wild card.
I can't. I don't know with that, buddy. So you're gonna get a Wonder Woman trailer, full on panel. Birds of Prey will be there. Suicide
With
Squad
a teaser.
teaser for Birds of Prey.
Okay.
Because they're gonna let Wonder Woman take. Because Wonder Woman will not
For
have
Joker, what are we going to get?
I don't know.
A full trailer?
Because those 3 films will be out between the 2 Comic-Cons.
I
Yeah.
mean, Joker.
I think we'll get a full
I think we'll get a
trailer.
full Joker trailer as well.
I think so too.
I think so.
Yeah, but I just don't know if we're gonna have.
And then for Suicide Squad, I think we'll at least get like full
And
casting
when is
announcements.
full
Suicide
announcements
Squad?
and a teaser,
The Suicide Squad is
When
in
is that?
2021.
but probably not a very like actual footage.
yeah,
heavy
no,
teaser.
that'll be
The
just cast.
Suicide
Cast.
Squad is supposedly the same year as the Batman. Supposedly.
Yeah, so
Do you guys think we'll get a Batman at Comic Con?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You don't think we'll
Why
get
so mad at
casting
me?
before that?
I just don't think we'll get anything. I think DC has so many films to promote this time that have actual stuff to show and talk about. What
Do you
have?
think
Matt
we'll
Reeves gonna
know-
come out like, I'm still working on the script,
Okay,
guys.
but do you think we'll know who the Batman
Nope.
is by
No.
then?
Nope.
This is interesting. Josh says
Interesting.
Joaquin won't promote Joker since his time is too precious.
I don't see him coming to Comic-Con talking.
I don't see
And I
him
think
doing it
if they
either.
did, it could turn into a debacle. He seems like the kind of guy that would try and do some kind of artsy character thing with people ask questions. And if you guys know the people that ask questions at Comic-Con, they're the most sweet, genuine, honest, nervous people.
Timid.
They get up there and they talk, and you'd have Joaquin Phoenix doing something, and they would be.
It wouldn't
It
work.
would. I don't think that would be.
It'd be a PR.
I think the
incident.
Joker will be there whether Joaquin's there or not.
Yeah,
I think they'll
Yeah.
definitely do a Joker trailer, but I don't.
I think
Todd
Todd
Phillips.
Phillips.
Todd Phillips. Yep.
He could work
Yeah.
a room.
Eon in the chat says, I think we'll get Gambit before Batman. That makes me so
No, Gambit's
sad.
done.
Gambit
They finally
is
said
dead.
it. Gambit's
joke.
dead.
I know.
think
That
they
was
say,
the
like,
joke.
They just announced that Gambit's been killed.
That was
so.
the joke, Mike. Don't get so
Okay,
mad.
guys, we really have to
gotta
get
go.
to that final
I'm sorry,
little
Yes.
segment. No, that's great.
That
It's
was for you,
great.
Hank.
We actually made a slow news week into a lot of debate. There's a lot to talk about, but we got to talk about a couple of things in this
Let's do
next
it.
segment.
Yes.
So it's time
for... Yeah, baby.
It's time for
There's a guy who knows how to pick up a cue.
There we go, Josh.
Fix that cue up. And he gave it
And
his
an R and an
business.
S.
What's giving it your business mean, Mike?
TV time.
You can't believe it. Wow, he's still pissed at me about the Star Wars thing.
Well,
So-
if we
all
ever
right,
have
let's
a
go over
Roxy
some TV
show,
time
let's
stuff.
do
We
it.
got a big TV time week this week because we had all our shows in full swing and some teasers. We got that Watchmen teaser. Been waiting for this. Damon Lindelof's
can we
project.
talk about this?
Can I get my
I
sweet
have a
dulcet
feeling we're
tones out
going
here
to.
about this Watchmen trailer?
Yeah,
All right,
please.
go ahead.
Holy I'm ready to talk about it. I'm going to get the sweet dulcet tones, so talk.
Oh.
And I'll drop in.
You're not ready to
I
talk?
thought that
No,
was
but-
him.
Okay.
I want you guys to talk about it. I'm just
You
going
You
to
wanted us to know that you weren't ready.
Have your
I gotta get my
NPR
voice ready.
voice.
I will
ready?
s-
Sweet dulcet
I will say
tones.
this about
What's
the
happening?
Watchmen teaser. I'm super excited for this show.
TikTok.
I'm so confused by this teaser. It looks like The Leftovers.
Thank you
Well,
very
that's
much.
because it's from.
I
The
know,
Leftovers.
but
I love it.
looks like The Leftovers. I don't know how it ties into
love
what.
it.
My point is, I'm not saying bad or good. I'm not disappointed. It doesn't feel like Watchmen in any way.
Now, do you think because it's Zack Snyder's style was so... This is very muted compared to what
But
we
it's
got.
also
I like
it's a
how much
totally
muted it
different
is.
story that has nothing to do. So I see a lot of people that look like Rorschach, and then a lot of yellow.
TikTok.
A lot of TikTok. I love what's his name, Don Johnson. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Irons looks good. Was
Yep.
he meditating on a desk or floating?
It looked like he
I
was,
looked
he
like
looked at his hands and he was
it looked
floating.
like he was floating, but I don't know.
Looked at it a couple of times. I thought he could have just
It
been
looked
on his
floaty.
desk.
But he is
But his
Ozymandias.
hands were holding him up in the
Like,
floating
I
position.
think he's just
Yeah.
strong.
Okay.
I love
Like
his,
yoga
as
pose?
him in, I
So
think
that's my takeaway. I'm just confused
possible.
and I don't know. What do you
For
guys
me,
think?
I felt like this teaser was not particularly confusing because it's a teaser. Again, in terms of being a true teaser, this wasn't telling a story by any chance. It was just setting the tone of the universe, and I was glad at how muted it was. I was
Yeah.
happy to not see the Zack Snyder beautifulness of it all. That to me is not particularly
reason-
Watchmen.
I loved it so much. Have you seen before Chernobyl came out the teaser that they did for that
Yes,
one?
I did.
I didn't.
It was basically like this, where it wasn't like a very footage heavy. It was very much a teaser, and then Chernobyl is phenomenal.
I haven't
So
watched it. I
Chernobyl
hear it's
good?
amazing.
All right, I'm gonna check it out tonight.
I hear
It's
that.
good. So like
can't
to
wait.
me, when I saw this teaser, I was like, oh boom, they're doing the exact same thing again. I can't wait.
Did you
a
get
hun-
your voice ready yet?
I'm ready.
Yeah, what do you
Okay,
got to
so
say?
give it to us,
I think-
'cause then we
I
gotta
think-
move forward.
I think it looked delightful. I cannot wait for this. This show
great.
looks so damn
That's
good.
good to hear.
Have you, Adam, in the 4 years of this show, ever heard Mike say the word delightful?
No, it was really nice to hear Mikey think something was just
Sounds
like
strange.
he's either in either extreme and like you just
You've
see
never
him.
heard me say this. What you are a delight.
Elena, in the
don't know, I
50
don't.
something times you've been on the show, delightful. Ever heard it?
I don't think this is my 60th episode.
In the
too.
yeah.
60
Well,
episodes. I have
wow.
never heard you say delightful.
I-
I have
a
heard
lot of us-
myself call myself a delight.
Just
Don't
making
try
sure
to
we're all on the
make
same
you think
page.
People
so,
said that about
but-
me when I said about Shazam because I said Shazam was wonderful. And they said, you've never used wonderful to describe a film ever. And I said, it just was wonderful.
It was delightful.
And
She
this,
described
this
Wonder
trailer
Woman.
was a delight.
We got to move on to other delightful teasers. Speaking of which, Adam.
There was one today with the so Swamp Thing. I'm trying to ignore the news from a couple of weeks ago and just pretend that we live in a world where we just know that Swamp Thing finished filming. There's a teaser that came out today, guys, 30 seconds, and you get to see the most up close of Swampy, and I think he looks great.
I don't think anybody's denying that Swamp Thing looks bomb.
Yeah,
He
the
looks
character.
awesome.
Yeah. But Elena, you were telling me some people had a problem with Abby
Allison-
Arcane's voice.
So Allison, I think she's a phenomenal actress. I loved her in Teen Wolf. I loved her. I mean, I know that's like real deep dig, but
Yeah, but
still,
no, that's okay.
I'm like
Tons of amazing
Did
actors
Mikey
coming.
get into the pot
Yes, like
brownies?
freaking Dylan O'Brien, who's going to be in a new movie with
like Dylan O'Brien.
Michael Rooker. So it all kind of ties in. Look at that.
Hell. And isn't that
but
where Tyler Hoechlin?
Posey
No,
and Tyler Hoechlin, who
our
was
Superman.
Our Superman. Yep. But anyway, I thought she was great. Everybody was digging into her accent, her Louisiana accent. I thought it was good. I'm from Alabama. I've heard a lot of different accents.
Oh, there
I
you
was
go.
Okay.
I thought it was great.
Elena
I thought
signing
you did
off
a
on
good
it.
job.
Didn't bother me at all.
Out here in the swamp, lots of stuff goes down. Sometimes you fall in love with a monster from a swamp.
Oh, I love it.
Really good. That was really good.
You
All
don't
right.
know who you're gonna love.
It was not the last teaser of the week, though. We also had a Batwoman teaser that I've been seeing now. After I saw it, I've watched it play on the CW 68 times, probably.
Just 68?
They're definitely rolling this on repeat.
But also, because
on
they-
every single show.
Well,
that
putting it out there
was.
because it got a series order.
Yes, it did. It got a series order.
Surprising no one.
In this teaser, this is a real teaser. More tease than any of the other teasers we've gotten so far, which is just we pan up to her. There she is.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we got. So she looks
Ruby
great.
Rose.
Clip
Yeah.
tease.
They're like, don't forget, you have a crush on Ruby Rose. She's in this.
And I'm like, thank you for reminding me, but I never forgot. That crush
Yeah.
stands strong. I'm still excited for this. I go back and forth with how excited, but I'm ready for the full series order. That means that they've got faith in it.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, I'm excited, but I am kind of saying I am hesitant to jump into another CW show. As I've become overwhelmed with TV shows, I've fallen off most of the CW shows. Like, they don't become priority viewing to me anymore. As of a lot of shows, I'm just like so overwhelmed that sometimes I just can't even watch
so many
anything.
of them are wrapping now. Like Izombie is like wrapping
Yeah, I
up.
get
and,
it.
like,
Yeah.
But the first seasons are usually good,
Yeah.
and I'll definitely jump into the new Batwoman. I just, like, I'm having so much fun with Doom Patrol. Like, you know, I love Cyborg
Doom
Patrol. Was so great.
was
and
amazing.
This last episode.
I hope that show can keep up the quality, and I hope that
will.
DC universe doesn't go away because I'm really enjoying the interface and the app and
Yeah,
everything.
speaking
Yes.
of Orange is the New Black actors, Diana Guerrero needs a freaking
Jane,
Emmy.
yeah. She's amazing.
so
So we
good.
don't have any more time, so we can't discuss any of those shows. But what I will say is, in case you didn't realize, Izombie, yes, is back. They have had 2 episodes so far. Lucifer dropped in its entirety on Netflix, season 4, and it's
Yes.
amazing so far. I'm
Is it
actually
good?
doing
Okay.
the AfterBuzz TV coverage
Oh.
for it.
Oh, sweet.
So after this, we will be going live.
You've taken on another show.
I have. We'll be going live. We'll be talking about episodes 4 and then 5 today. We did 1, 2, and 3 yesterday. If you want to go check those out. We also have AfterBuzz TV coverage for Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, Legends of
I do
Tomorrow.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol,
So
baby.
watch that
Great.
one.
Freaking amazing.
Have you seen Flex Patrol?
We did tight. Yes, it was.
haven't
It
seen
was
it
out
yet
of this
today.
world. Flex Patrol was so freaking
We
good.
did a show on Sunday, so
I love that character.
Wow.
But go check out AfterBuzz TV if you want more coverage on that. TV is their jam, and they're breaking it down for you in its entirety.
Well, that was great. Well, listen, we didn't have a lot to talk about, and we filled up a nice little show. Yes, Elena.
real quick before we go to speaking of Lucifer, shout out to TW Falls and everybody who worked on the Constantine fan film because they actually shot in some of the locations from Lucifer.
So cool.
Oh.
And I saw it and it was really, really good. So props to you guys. It just dropped on YouTube this week.
I also want to give a shout out to something I discovered on DC Universe last night, which is DC University. Have you guys seen this? Check this out. This is a thing where they basically just kind of bring you up to speed on the
They school
history of
you?
a certain thing on DC. So there was one on like The Dark Knight Returns. There could be a couple on the history of a certain character, and they are really cool and short. And there was even one on how to like use the comic book interface with DC Universe. So I don't know. I mean, I really enjoy it, and I see how different this is than a streaming service that encompasses a lot more things. It's a much more intimate kind of thing. And now that they're bringing on all the comics, there's no reason not to bring you up to speed. Mike Kalinowski.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Roxy. Did you want to say something?
No, it was I gotta get out of here.
Mike Kalinowski, tell people where to find you.
At Mike Kalinowski. Twitter, Instagram.
You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar.
You can find me on Twitter at Elena Jordan and on Instagram at Elena J. Jordan.
You can find me at your local Dunkin' Donuts. I'm Adam Gertler.
Yes, donkeys.
At Adam Gertler. We'll see you next time on DC Movie News.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.